A sweet-natured grisette, young, working-class Frenchwoman, Fantine's seduction by an older student, the charming cad Felix, Johnny Flynn, in the BBC series, results in her falling pregnant and struggling to survive as a single mother. Conned by her child's carers, destitute and desperate, she falls on hard times. Fantine is an iconic character, and one that miniseries director Tom Shankland encouraged Lily to make her own. "Tom told me to forget every other Les Mis I'd seen and just go back to the writing," says Lily of this song-free version, scripted by Andrew Davies, who wrote the US version of House of Cards, and is delivered in plain-spoken, vowel-dropped English despite the epic backdrop of 19th-century France, or Belgium masquerading as France, at a time of civil unrest. "We were encouraged to bring a fresh take, to breathe life into a song lyric and make it an episode," she continues in her soft American twang. Not everybody loves musicals. So where Fantine has a line in one of her songs that mentions her falling in love, now we get to see how it happened. Lily is here at BAFTA, British Academy of Film and Television Arts, in central London for the premiere of Les Miserables, the cast of which includes David Oyelowo, Dominic West and Olivia Colman. It's raining outside, but Lily, standing read slim in an ultra-tight sparkling mini dress, "It's going to be tricky for me to sit down," oozes the sunniness of California, where she has been based since the age of 5, having moved there from England following her parents' divorce. Daughter of former Genesis drummer, and later singer, Phil Collins and his American second wife, Jill Tavelman, Lily might easily have fast-tracked her ascent by trading on her surname. She hasn't, which makes her success all the sweeter. "I am super proud of my dad," she has said of her hitmaker father, who has 5 children by his 3 ex-wives, and who recently toured Australia. "But I wanted to do it on my own. People assume it's easier when you have that name, but if you're the kind of person who doesn't want to use it, it's a lot harder." Nevertheless, from her first on-screen appearance, age 2, in a BBC series called Growing Pains, Lily's rise seems to have been remarkably smooth. Forming is in her blood, after all. As a young girl she'd watch old Hollywood films, many featuring her maternal grandmother Jane Hale, a ballerina and actress, then dress up to mimic her favorite characters. Lily with her father Phil on tour in Japan, circa 1988, credit. Getty Images attended the Youth Academy of Dramatic Arts in Los Angeles, taking part in musical theater productions. She was also a teen columnist for UK magazine Elle Girl, and a socialite whose alabaster beauty caught the eye of Chanel, which dressed her in a gown for a debutante ball that featured in the reality TV show The Hills. By 2008, Lily was in demand as a model and brand ambassador. She is currently the face of French beauty brand Lancôme, and making a name as a red carpet correspondent and children's TV presenter. A year later, she featured as a minor character in the American teen drama series 90,210, and made her film debut as Sandra Bullock's daughter in the Oscar-nominated The Blind Side. The script started tumbling in, and Lily dropped out of studying broadcast journalism to take supporting roles in an action film and a thriller. In 2012, she starred in Mirror Mirror as a sword-wielding Snow White opposite Julia Roberts' evil queen. "So Fantine is not the first time I've played a literary character with opinions," grins Lily, who lobbied for a second audition for Snow White after being unhappy with her first tryout, duly clinching the part. "I wanted to do it on my own. People assume it's easier when you have that name, but if you're the kind of person who doesn't want to use it, it's a lot harder." Credit. Coliana Rentmeester, Telegraph Media Group 2018. There's also been Sci-Fi, The Mortal Instruments, City of Bones, throwback romantic comedy drama, Warren Beatty's Rules Don't Apply, which got her a Golden Globe nomination, and the CGI-enhanced Okja, in which she played a young animal activist intent on to saving her best four-legged friend. And there was a lead role in the controversial anorexia drama To the Bone. It divided critics, but Lily has insisted that it helped her understand her own teenage battle with eating disorders, which she detailed in her 2017 memoir, Unfiltered. No shame, no regrets, just me. It's very rare you get the opportunity to wear shoes you once wore with a different perspective on things, she told Vanity Fair. This was an amazing opportunity to gain knowledge, and helped me let go a lot, as did the writing of Unfiltered. Divulging personal information in print is one thing. Doing so when you have a famous dad and 13 million Instagram followers is another. Lily, who wrote every word herself, says she found the process liberating. I decided to write the book because I kept reading what people were posting on social media and thinking, you're so brave, she says. It was a really difficult thing for me to do, but the feedback I got made it way more rewarding than I expected. Boyfriends' names were changed in an essay on dating. If rumored exes Zac Efron and Chris Evans are in there, she's not saying. Silliness is praised as attractive. Those eyebrows, which she plucked to thin lines at school, are reclaimed and championed in all their bushy glory. And in an open letter to her father, Lily tells the 67-year-old that she forgives him for not being the dad I expected, and notes the impact that her parents' famously messy divorce had on her teenage years. I accept and honor the sadness and anger I felt towards the things you did or didn't do, she writes. Today she'd prefer not to discuss specifics, though offers You'll Be in My Heart from the 1999 Disney animated film Tarzan. When asked to choose her favorite Phil Collins song, he wrote it as a lullaby to me as a kid, she says, rerouting the conversation to Unfiltered and the main reason she set fingers to laptop, to make young people feel less alone. The sentiment dovetails with Lily's advocacy work for charities including Bystander Revolution, an anti-bullying organization, and the Go campaign, which raises funds for orphans and vulnerable children. Open communication with teenagers is something I'm very passionate about, she says. Speaking about insecurities and being honest about what you are going through is vital. One young woman asked me, but what if you know you're born different, if your quirks and interests aren't the norm? When you're a green apple when everyone else is a red one, I said, well, I've always loved green apples. It's the things that make you different that end up making you unique. She pauses for a beat. So many kids have these deep, thoughtful questions. It doesn't matter what political, religious, sexual orientation background you come from, we all go through the same insecurities, and realizing this fact is the beauty of communications. It's very rare you get the opportunity to wear shoes you once wore with a different perspective on things. Credit Oleana Rentmeester, Telegraph Media Group 2018. Additionally, by setting her own example, by putting it all out there in Unfiltered, Lily was able to let go of personal baggage, which in turn allowed her to go deeper into her characters. Forthcoming appearances include Two Extremes, Edith Bratt, beloved wife and muse of English writer J.R.R. Tolkien, author of The Lord of the Rings, in the biopic Token, and Liz Kendall, longtime girlfriend of infamous American serial killer Ted Bundy in Extremely Wicked. Shockingly evil and vile. I'd just finished filming that when I jumped on a plane and flew to Brussels in winter to start Les Mis, says Lily. My state of mind was already very dark, so when I found we were working backwards, that the end of Fantine's life was being filmed on day 2 of shooting, I used this weird headspace to help me lean into her character. Lily portrays Fantine, a fallen woman who sells her hair, then her teeth, then her body to earn money for her daughter, with a deft mix of steeliness, sassiness and grace. Much of the filming took place in sub-zero conditions. One memorable scene sees a shivering Fantine being physically hurled across cobblestones by police inspector Javert. David Oyelowo got a bit carried away, and there were real bruises afterwards, says Lily with a grimace. I thought, well, she's physically in pain, let's keep going. I've never shot anything out of sequence like that, but I'm so grateful because when we returned in the summer, knowing where we ended up, I got to amp up the romance. I wanted people to empathize with her as much as possible. She flashes a smile. Empathy, she says, is everything. Les Miserables premieres on BBC First on Foxtel and Fetch from March 10 at 8:30 p.m. This article appears in Sunday Life magazine within the Sun Herald and the Sunday Age on sale February 17.